Hi, it's me, Rick Verde, here to talk about the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing. Now, there are some advantages to both, but let's face it, the gold medal is traditional publishing, and it is hard to get into that game. Really, really hard. But I do recommend if you are going to do it and you are seeking that route, to get this book. It's Jeff Herman's Guide to Book Publisher Editors and Literary Agents. This will tell you what everyone's looking for. So, just for the heck of it, uh, since I'm in California, Stockton, California, originally from New Jersey, Elizabeth, New Jersey, I'm gonna pick, let's go with Kimberly Cameron and Associates. So, they're located in Tiburon, California, and the agent's name and contact is Amy Clowley. It has her email address, her Twitter account, and it asks certain questions, such as describe the kind of works you want to represent. And she answers, I look for unique, clear voices with smart, tightly written prose. I have a soft spot for distinctive, strong, contemporary characters set in small towns and always looks for unexpected story arc. So that's the type of work she's looking for. Describe what you definitely don't want to represent. Not currently focusing on military, government thrillers, fantasy, sci-fi, or young adult projects. So if you do YA, sci-fi, or whatever, you would skip her. How do you want writers to pitch you? Please send a query letter in the body of an email to, I'm not going to give out her email address, include author submission in the subject line. Okay, attach a one-page synopsis and the first 50 pages of your manuscript. Okay, and then it goes into other stuff. So, do you charge fees? If yes, please explain. No. So it goes into a bunch of different things, and there's, you can go into other ones. Linda Linda Connor Literary Agency. This one's in New York. Like I said, I'm originally from New Jersey, so let's give her a chance. Describe the kind of works you want to represent. I represent adult nonfiction, especially health, self-help, relationship, parenting, personal finance, popular psychology. So if you write that, go to her. So this will help you. I recommend this. I sent out a bunch of stuff when I was writing my book to them, and got rejected a lot. So I would say if you want to go the traditional route, that's the way to go. And the advantages of getting your book published by a traditional publishing agency is there's a lot of kudos in it. And what I mean by that is if you get published by one of the big names, like, I don't know, Penguin Publishing, whatever, uh, people go, oh my God, you got published by them? Wow, that's huge. And there's chances that, maybe it'll get turned into a movie or some big deal or, whatever. It'll, people give you more credit than if you self-publish. Um, Also, traditional, better chance you might run into it at Barnes and Noble. So I don't know. Let's make up a name for your book. Your book is called NYC, New York City, Statue of Liberty, New York City. That's the name of your book. I just named it, New York City. Um, you're gonna see New York City at Barnes and Nobles. You're gonna see it at Target. You're gonna see it at whatever other bookstores there are out there now. You know, um, you're not gonna find self-published books there most of the times. So that's another reason you should go the traditional publishing route. Another reason is they have an established team that will help you. They have editors. Um, they have people who work on your book cover for you. They have the marketing. They have people who will format your book. Now, I'm going to give you an example of why you would want those things. I like Harlan Coben. He's from New Jersey. Like I might have said that in my first um, video. He spoke at my graduation from Kane University, from Union, New Jersey. And this is from Gone for Good. It's a simple cover, but it's beautiful. It catches your attention. Uh, I think it's a great cover. Gone for Good, Harlan Coben. Really good book. And you can see, real nice. Look at the formatting inside. Okay, that was done by a professional team. This was a self-published book. This is mine, Rick Verde, Killing Xenu. This, when I came up with it, I did it through CreateSpace. You can see real nice. When it first came, when I did it, it was really bright. You could tell this was an ocean in the back. But when I did to CreateSpace, all of a sudden, you can't tell that this is an ocean. This was a lot brighter. It was gold. It popped out more. But when this got published, you can't tell nothing. My picture in the back, you can't even tell. This is Warinenko Park in Rahway, New Jersey. You can't tell. Everything's so dark in this. This is how it's formatted. Doesn't really look all that professional. So that's why you want to have a team. And I'm not the only one who suffered the same issue. I've spoken to many people who work through CreateSpace, and they've had the same problem. So it's one of the reasons you want to go traditional. And after this book got denied so many times, I decided to just self-publish. And that's one thing I will recommend. If you are going to go traditional, have a thick skin. Stephen King got rejected a lot of times when he tried to get Carrie published. I keep hearing different numbers. Some people say 50. I've heard over 100 times. And we all saw what happened with Carrie. Carrie blew up. It became a phenomenal book, turned into 2 different movies. So you just have to have a thick skin. You're going to get rejected a lot. I got rejected a bunch of times, and I just didn't have the patience to continue. So I just decided to self-publish it. I was tired of the book, and I had other projects I wanted to work on. And really, I kind of fell out of love with it, so I just wanted to move on. Literary prizes. You have a better chance of winning literary prizes if you go through the traditional route than going self-publishing. It has happened before where someone who's published through self-publishing has won a prize, but it's very rare, extremely rare. Also, you have a chance of becoming a brand name, not so much self-published. Now, the cons, though, are there some cons? It is an extremely slow process. And this is why when I say I fell out of love with my book, I don't mean like I hated the characters or anything like that. I have so many other stories in me that I just wanted to move on, and I just got tired of rereading the same story over and over. So it's a slow process. It can take up to 2 years to get an agent. I've heard people take even longer than that. So it can take a long, long time. You might have to pitch the same story over and over, just tell it a little bit different. You might have to rewrite your first couple of chapters. Who knows? And even if you land an agent, then it might take another year for you to get a publishing deal. So let's say, for instance, in my book, I land an agent, Joe Smith. Let's use the name Joe Smith. Joe Smith says, "Hey, this is a great book. I want to represent you." All right, I got Joe Smith. And then Joe Smith says, all right, let's go land you a deal with, I'm going to make up an agency right off the top of my head, Fox Publishing. Fox Publishing, we go back and forth, it takes a year. Okay, a year after that. Then it could take somewhere between 6 months to 2 years before it gets uh, published. Okay, 6 months to 2 years. So I spent 2 years finding an agent, about a year to get a deal, and then 6 months to 2 years. So we're talking about three and a half is probably like the low end to 5 years before this book hits like a Barnes and Noble's table. Okay, I've met people in my life that I don't even like for that long, and now I'm sitting on a book for that long. You know how many stories I might have written by that time? Hopefully, you have a bunch of books that you can just toss out all at one time, uh, get published all at one time, because God knows you're just gonna be sick and tired of it. Um, Also, my friends, you have no creative control, none whatsoever. Once you sign on the dotted line, it's over. Unless you're a big name, you have no creative control. They can do whatever they want to that story. It is over. If they decide that, hey, we don't like this ending, we're going to change it this way, um, guess what? The story is theirs now. You have nothing, and you can't do anything. Also, uh, your royalties, I, I've heard it could be as low as 7%. The highest, 25%. So um, that's not really all that much. Uh, Contract clauses that they throw in there are some. I've heard they got some tricky ones. Um, One that I heard of, that even though you might decide to go, okay, I'm going to self-publish this one book. Even though you self-published it, you're still under contract with them, so they still get dibs on that book, and you still might only get that 7%. So you might go out and sell that on Amazon, who gives you the chance to put 35% or 70% uh, royalties, and you're still only getting 7%. So you got to watch it with the with the clauses that they have. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Self-publishing. The one thing I loved about it was I had all creative control. I could do whatever I wanted to any one of these characters. So let's say in my book, um, this one, I decided my main character, I didn't want to do a sequel. And at the very last scene, I killed him off. That's my decision. They can't do anything to me. No one in this world can say anything to me. I mean, maybe people read the book, go, "Hey, why the hell did you kill him off? He was our favorite character." Blah 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 blah, whatever. Um, if I had signed with a traditional agency, they would go, "No, he's our favorite character. You bring him back to life because we want sequels." And I'm pretty sure that's what's happened to Dan Brown. I'm 100% sure that's what happened to Dan Brown, because when he first came out, he wrote two books, Digital Fortress and Deception Point. Amazing books. And then he came out with Angels and Demons and Da Vinci Code with Robert Langdon in them. Those were amazing books too. All four of those books, when I first started reading them, I read them within 24 hours. The last three books he came out with Origins, whatever the other two were. Uh, they were so god awful. I literally could not sit and read them. They took me months. Especially the one that came after Da Vinci Code. I can't think of the name of it at this point, but it was so god awful. It took me about 4 or 5 months to read it. Every time I started reading it, I fell asleep. It was that bad. You're more empowered when you write your own book, and I'll tell you why. People get rejected so often, and this happened with me. you start doubting yourself. You start feeling like you're not supposed to be a writer. Oh my God, all these people are rejecting me. I must suck. I'm horrible. So you start doubting yourself. But when you self-publish, you're like, yes, I'm one of them. I'm a writer. I'm supposed to do this. But when you start trying to get to traditional writers, publishing, and you're constantly getting emails saying, sorry, this isn't what we're looking for. Sorry, no. Sorry, no, no, no. And that's all you're hearing. You start doubting yourself and you don't feel like you're supposed to be up there. So you feel more empowered. You got that, you got that, you just know you got it. Also, it's faster to market. I got this book out in less than a year, and basically it was mainly because I rewrote this book about 6-7 times, and once I got the cover art and uploaded it to CreateSpace, it was on Amazon Kindle and Amazon paperback within no time. So within a year, I liked it. Also, higher royalties. I put it through Amazon and CreateSpace. You can get 35% or 70%. I chose 35% because that lets me sell the book for less. You can put it for 70%, but at 70%, I can only sell the Kindle book for, I think the least they'd let me sell it for was $6.99. But if I sold it for 35%, I could sell it for $2.99. And being that I'm a new writer, I prefer to get it for $2.99 and get it out there. People don't know who I am, so let's get it out there. I think that actually, if you take the 35%, you can sell it for 99 cents. It's the cheapest, so that's what I did. I just put it out there for 99 cents. I also did some free giveaways to get my name out there. You can also sell globally, where if you were with traditional, they decide where they're going to sell it, not you. Through Amazon, you can decide where you want to sell it. I'm selling in Canada, Europe, everywhere. You can decide your niche market, where if you were with traditional, they might say, you might think you're a mystery writer, whatever. Well, all of a sudden they go, hey, you know what? This would make a good young adult novel. And you don't want to be a young adult writer. Well, they're deciding what type of market. So that's really up to them. Another thing is, you get your foot in the door. At least you're getting something out there and people are recognizing you. You can go on Twitter, you can go on Instagram, get your book out there, tell your friends about it, let their friends know about it, and your name gets out there. Where if you go through traditional, you keep getting rejected, your book will never get out there, people will never know who you are. So now the cons are, you're doing this all by yourself. It's all you. So to get your name out there, you have to do all the work. No one else is going to do it for you. It's all on you. Secondly, there's no prestige. No one looks at a self-published book and goes, oh my God, look at all the work he did. Oh my God, he's with this big company, blah, blah, blah. No, there's really nothing to it. Everybody knows anybody can self-publish, so no one's going to make a big deal except for your family. My wife gave me a big old hug, and my mother-in-law, and all my friends congratulated me on Facebook. But it was just more like a, hey, congrats. Now we're on with our day. So it's not a big thing. You're not going to really get these in the stores neither. Don't expect to be in Barnes and Nobles and all that. I mean, you can, on Amazon, it lets you click on, they distribute to stores, but you have to sell a crap load of this book to do that. There have been a few exceptions of books that have struck it big enough to make it into into that category, like The Martian, the one starring Matt Damon that became a movie. Yeah, that's a rarity. So don't expect that to happen. And it's rare that you're going to get a literary prize. It has happened, but it's very rare. So those are the cons and the pros of both. So you need to decide which route you want to take. Again, if you decide to take it, Herman's Guide to Book Publishers, Editors, and Literary Agents. This gets released every year. It's a pretty expensive book. I bought this last year. You see, 2007, right here, 2017. It cost me about $25 at Barnes and Nobles. Luckily, I had a $10 gift card, but and my wife is a teacher, so I got an extra discount on that. You don't really need the exact same year because, again, it's basically the same publishers over and over and over again. But I mean, if you want to get the newer ones, you can. You can always get a year prior just to save yourself some money. It's up to you. But again, up to you. Traditional or self-publishing. If you want the kudos, go traditional. If you just want to pump out books, self-publishing. So, leave your comments below. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button. Talk to you guys later.